Hello everyone, and welcome to another Pyro Gaming video. Season of the Chosen reintroduced some old Dreaming City weapons and armor to the city's loot pool. The Reverie Dawn armor set, as well as Waking Vigil, Vouchsafe, Retold Tale, and Sleepless can now all be re-earned with updated power levels. The Shattered Throne rewards players with special variations of this gear only found in the dungeon, such as higher stat rolled armor, similar to what drops in raids and other in-game stuff. And the weapons have newer perks in addition to the original perks the weapons dropped with when they first came out back in Forsaken. It's also worth noting that with Bungie doing away with sunsetting, this gear is now permanent and has no power cap, so it's worth doing, and in this video, I'll be showing you how anyone can solo the Shattered Throne using a very basic loadout. So you might be asking yourself, why solo? Well, not everyone is going to be able to find a group for stuff like this, or maybe you just want the challenge yourself. Either way, you get a sweet new emblem if you solo it, so let's go ahead and get started. Starting with loadouts, I'm running a Celestial Nighthawk Hunter with Bottom Tree Golden Gun. I believe this to be the most difficult class to solo this dungeon on because it doesn't have an oh shit button like other classes do. It does, however, offer high boss damage, so there is a risk versus reward factor. But if you want to play it safe, I would definitely run Orpheus Rig or 6 Coyote for hunters on top or bottom tree tether for that invis. Warlocks, if you're feeling confident and you want that high risk reward, I'd recommend Chaos Reach with Geomag Stabilizers for boss damage, or if you want to take the safer route, I'd go with Well of Radiance and Phoenix Protocol, or even something like Transversive Steps to always have your reloads going. Either way, you want that Healing Rift on if you're playing a Warlock. Titans, your confident loadout will be Thunder Crash with the new Cuirass of a Falling Star for boss damage, or for the safer route, it'll be Ward of Dawn Bubble and Helm of Saint 14, maybe something like Crest of Alpha Lupi for healing when you cast your barricade, or even something like Sighton's Ramparts to be able to shoot through cover. In my opinion, Well Warlock is going to be the easiest of all three classes for this solo, followed by Bubble Titan in second place, then Invis Hunter in third. I do believe that Hunter is the most difficult. For weapons, I'm starting with a True Prophecy hand cannon and Adored sniper rifle and the Bad Omens rocket launcher you can buy from Drifter. I'll be using this loadout from here until Vorgath. Once you have your loadout selected, be sure to utilize armor mods to fit your loadout. For example, I'm running Rocket Launcher Ammo Finder on my helmet and Scavenger mods on my boots for extra heavy ammo. I'm also running Taking Charge, Protective Light, High Energy Fire, Arc Resist, and a Sniper Resist mod for this opening section. I will change up these mods when we get to the bosses, more on that later. For this opening encounter, known as the Labyrinth, the basic gist of it is there are 7 unique symbols spread throughout the arena, and each symbol has a boss with a set of adds. When you kill the boss and all the adds in a chamber, it will reveal the next symbol you need to head to. These symbols go in a random order, but the locations stay the same. Here is a map of the symbols to make things a bit easier. There will be sniper vandals spawning all over the place, and it's best to deal with them as soon as you see them because they will hurt you quite a bit. That Sniper Resist mod comes in really handy here. There is no time limit for this encounter, so don't feel like you need to rush through it. Take your time and play passively from a distance if you need to. One thing that always helps me with soloing dungeons is cranking up some music in the background and just distracting myself so I'm not overthinking things and being stuck in my own head. You definitely want to keep a relaxed demeanor while you're doing this. Things like this are supposed to be fun, so if you're getting to the point of frustration, take a break. You can always return to orbit and come back in here and still get your solo emblem if no other person joins. I don't know for sure how this works with flawless solos though, so kind of do that at your own risk, but for the solo, when I got my emblem back in Forsaken, I went to orbit several times, rallied some flags, and then came back in and did the boss encounters. Once you've killed all 7 bosses, a pit will open in the final chamber where you drop down and you'll get your first piece of loot, and then it is time to head to the next checkpoint known as the Descent. The second checkpoint, known as the Descent, is fairly simple and straightforward. Sniper Resist mods and long-ranged weapons will be the play here, as there are sniper vandals everywhere on multiple levels. Again, there's no timer for the next few sections, so no need to rush. This first area will have snipers on various levels, a few invisible minotaurs, a taken captain boss, and a few other adds here and there. If you're killing the adds as you go and playing angles instead of rushing straight to the top, you should be fine, honestly. Once everything is dead, a door will open to a long hallway. It's worth noting that if you die in this room or the next room with the ogres, your progress will be reset and you'll be sent back to the beginning of the descent checkpoint in the previous room. This room will have snipers, phalanx, knights, and the play here, again, is to play distance and take out the snipers first. The Taken Knights can also get you with their fire breath from far away. They're always trying to spit that mixtape at you. So get rid of them quickly too. Keep slowly pushing forward, killing things as you go until you reach the next room. The final room for this checkpoint is the Ogre Tightrope Room. That is a tongue twister, the Ogre Tightrope Room. I'm trying to read it off the script. I just keep wanting to say tight room rope or some shit. The general rule for this room is don't get close enough to an ogre to get their attention while you're standing on one of the narrow beams. You want to kill the ogres from a distance, and as you move forward, stop each time the next ogre spawns and deal with it immediately before progressing. Remember that dying here sends you back to the first descent room because you have not reached another checkpoint yet. You don't have any progress saved. Once you reach the end of this room, however, you'll have secured the next checkpoint, and it'll be time to move on to the throwaway. Your third checkpoint is the throwaway. It's best to go ahead and swap to your Vorgeth loadout here so that you can farm the Shadow Thrall in this area for ammo, and you definitely want full ammo before you leave this room. This room has a secret chest you can grab for an extra piece of loot. You get it by heading in a straight line towards the ledge directly across from the door that you just came in. Drop down, be sure to activate your jump right before you hit the ground. After you grab the chest, hop in the portal to return up top, and now that you have your ammo filled up and you've gotten the bonus chest, you just follow the path that I take here to Vorgeth. I always kill everything as I'm going just to be safe, but you don't necessarily have to. If you feel confident, you can just run past all these enemies in this next section until you reach the Vorgeth checkpoint. The fourth checkpoint is the Vorgeth encounter, and it's going to be the biggest challenge for most people to try this solo. I think if you can beat this, though, you can beat the rest of this dungeon, honestly. I think that this is probably the most difficult part. The mechanics of this fight are pretty straightforward. Vorgeth has a push attack that will knock you back if you're in direct line of sight of him, and there are 4 wizards, each with their own group of adds, and when you kill a wizard, they will drop an orb that stays on the ground for 15 to 20 seconds before despawning and eventually respawning that wizard. You will need to kill all 4 wizards and collect all 4 dropped orbs to get to Vorgeth's damage phase by dunking the 4 orbs in one of the 4 totems around the room. 4, 4, 4. I keep saying 4. Once you collect the first orb, you will be put on a 45-second timer that kills you if it hits 0. The only way to extend this timer is to kill the next wizard and pick up the next orb. Meaning, once you kill a wizard and pick up the orb, you have 45 seconds to kill another wizard and pick up the next orb. Then you have 45 seconds to kill the next, and 45 seconds to kill the next, and so on. My loadout for this encounter was a Long Shadow Sniper, a Royal Chase Void Scout Rifle for wizard shields, and a heavy machine gun for wizards and boss damage. I'm using the raid machine gun in this video, but honestly, it does not make a difference. A machine gun is a machine gun. When I drop down to first start the encounter, I head to the left and take cover behind the pillar. I rotate back and forth between the pillar and the little half wall right behind me to avoid the wizards on either side of me and avoid Vorgeth being in direct side of me. I focus on the smaller adds at the front and to the left while also popping the wizard shields with my scout rifle periodically to stun them and whittle down their health. I'll also snipe the adds on the far right to get rid of them once I have all the adds killed off on the front, left, and right sides of the room, and I've done some damage to all 3 wizards to get their health down to about a third, maybe a half, something like that. I'll go ahead and kill the front wizard, pick up the orb, and start going in a clockwise rotation, killing the remaining wizards and adds. Remember, you have a 45-second timer here, and you can leave an orb on the ground for about 15 to 20 seconds before it despawns. So once I kill the second wizard, I go and kill a few adds in the very back before picking up the second orb to maximize my time. Kill the third wizard and collect the orb, then head to the final wizard on the right where you killed the adds before you started, and it's just a wizard left over there now, so it should be pretty easy, and collect the final orb. Then you're going to dunk all 4 charges in the nearest totem to begin the boss's damage phase. The boss will continuously spawn Axion darts that will kill you if you're not in a well. You can survive these if you stand in a well and can just disregard them for the most part. This is why I choose a heavy machine gun here. It makes it very easy to shoot the Axion darts and go right back to shooting the boss for damage. In between dart phases, you can swap to your sniper to get some extra boss damage, and make sure you use your super here regardless of which one you're running. Whether it be a supportive or offensive super, you definitely want to use it to get that extra damage. As soon as the boss's shields return, you want to hurry back to your starting position for phase 2. From here, it's a matter of rinsing and repeating the strategy until Vorgeth is dead. And remember that there isn't any kind of a timer until you pick up the first orb. So take your time as you need to collect ammo and refill your super and all that stuff. You can sit around doing nothing for, 5-10 minutes if you need to before you kill that first wizard. You have a maximum of 4 potential damage phases since there are only 4 totems to dunk the orbs in. But if you make it past this, honestly, you're in elite company. This boss room is a pain, and I do believe it is the most challenging part of soloing this dungeon. Your 5th checkpoint is known as the tower climb. Once you reach the tower climb checkpoint, you want to swap to the loadout you'll be using for the final boss, Ankara. I ended up using a Long Shadow Sniper, a Risk Runner SMG, and the Bad Omens rocket launcher you can buy from Drifter that I used in the opening encounter. The next few areas are mainly just killing adds and going up elevators. It's also worth noting that you don't actually have to kill the adds to activate the elevators. You can just run past them if you're feeling comfortable with that. Follow the path I take, but be sure to stop when you get to the throwaway section. At this area, you can keep killing adds infinitely until you have full ammo for every weapon, and once your ammo is full, keep climbing the tower until you reach the final boss room. The 6th and final checkpoint for the Shattered Throne is the Dual Ankara checkpoint. If you've made it this far, you got this, man. Honestly, you really do. You've gotten past the hardest part. If you're at Dual Ankara, you got this. You're gonna do it. I'm proud of you. The loadout that I used here was a Long Shadow Sniper to do damage to the 3 knights, a Risk Runner SMG to deal with the adds that spawn constantly, as well as the knights. Plus, Risk Runner also reduces incoming arc damage, which the boss will constantly be throwing at you. My power weapon, again, was that Bad Omens rocket launcher from Drifter that I used in the first encounter. I used this for damage to the knights, as well as the boss after I popped my golden gun. Put on an arc resist mod to counter the boss's damage, and a melee resist mod for the knight's slam attack on your chest piece. Charged with light mods are also really good here if you have them, and you want to save your super for the final boss's damage phase. To get to her damage phase, you will need to kill the 3 knights and collect the orbs that they drop relatively close together. These orbs act as a buff, so if you have all 3, for example, you'll do more damage to Dolankaru than if you only picked up 2 orbs. As soon as you start the encounter, ads will spawn on both the left and the right, these little taken dudes. Kill them as quickly as you can because they will just keep duplicating if you don't kill them, and you'll get overran very quickly. Risk Runner is fantastic for this. The knights will be slow and not really a threat until their health gets down to around 25% left. Then you pop their helmets off and they begin sprinting at you instead of walking and become much more aggressive. You want to get all 3 of the knights' health down to just before that point and then let Dolankaru spawn her crystal. This is the safer way to do it. I'll explain in a second. This crystal spawns about 1 minute and 15 seconds after you start the encounter. It's best to go through a crystal break before killing any of the knights because the knights need to be killed within a few seconds of each other to maximize the damage buff. You want to make sure that you can grab all 3 of those orbs. You don't want to kill one and then the other 2 go immune right before you can kill them because the crystal spawned. So it's best to just wait until you're certain you can kill all 3 after that crystal break. After you break the crystal, the ads will spawn again, and you need to focus them again ASAP, just like you did the first rotation. Once they are dead, you can finish off the 3 knights, collect their orbs, and go into the boss's damage phase. With 3 orbs stacked up, she's fairly easy to kill. You do a lot of damage, and her health just melts away. Use your supers here, burn all your heavy and your special ammo, and you'll likely one-phase her with no problems. If you do need to do a second damage phase though, be sure to jump in the blue light on top of the column in the middle of the room to get rid of the buff because it will kill you if the timer runs out. So stop your damage phase whenever you get to like 5 seconds left on that timer on the left hand side of your screen and jump in that blue light to cleanse yourself if you don't think that you can kill her in the first phase. After you've cleansed yourself, it's rinse and repeat until she's dead. You're starting over, you're back at 1, do the same thing again. Another tip I can give you is that you can jump up on the heads of the statues in the little, I don't know, hallway where you first spawn in for added safety from the knights. They can't touch you up there. You still need to kill the ads, but the knights can't touch you, and most of the time Dolankaru can't reach you. You'll need to be perfectly centered for your character to mantle and grab onto the head and get up there. Up here, though, you can jump from one side to the other to hit different angles and avoid the boss. It's really convenient. You can also leave and go to orbit and go hit up a public event rally flag, or maybe go to the moon and pay 5 phantasmal fragments right there where Era spawns to get a rally banner there. Of course, you'll be doing this to refill your ammo, and that's to do in between wipes. Like, let's say you do a bunch of damage and then you die on the second phase, you're completely out of ammo. That's when you'd want to go to orbit and go rally a flag. And you have to start over anyway, so you're fine. Like I said in the beginning of the video, you can do this and still have the solo run intact as long as nobody else joins that checkpoint. Having full ammo is going to be one of the most important things for this encounter. And I think that's going to do it for this video, guys. That's all the tips I have for you. Hopefully it helped you out and you were able to get that solo done. Drop a comment in the box below and let me know what your drops were, and I will talk to you guys in the next video. But if you enjoyed this video, click like. If you're new to the channel, click subscribe. And if you're already subscribed, I fucking love you. Thank you guys so much for watching, and take care.